Welcome to the Big O Money Show. My name is Bill Altman here from the Premier Advisory Group. Welcome, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're prepared for this next week ahead. We've had beautiful fall weather, a little rain in the mix, which was fantastic. Not much, but a little bit. And here we are, Tony. And I've been doing a little traveling, been out and about and getting kids situated and the whole nine. What's up with you?
Well, you're staying active too. I mean, it looks like you've lost about 300 pounds. You're wasting away to nothing over there, Bill. I'm a little concerned. I mean,
Wasting away in Margaritaville.
I know. I've been good. Really quick, but I know you've got a lot to talk about, but I do have a question for you and our audience. So my wife is out of town for 10 days.
Oh boy.
For work. She's actually in Kenya, Africa right now, in Kenya, and then she flies to Dubai. And so the kids are out of the house. You know, my kids are all there. We're empty nesters. So I'm home alone with the pets for 10 days. Is it wrong to order pizza delivery 7 days a week?
No, it's not. No, it's not frowned upon.
Okay, good. I might switch it up once in a while, you know, do Chinese takeout or something like that, maybe some DoorDash, but yeah. That's the life I'm going to be leading for about 10 days. So
wow, sounds fun. Good luck.
Well, it was fun the first 2 days, and now I miss her and I'm like, come on back.
Nice.
The clothes is not getting folded. It's not going to fold itself.
Oh boy.
I'm kidding.
I was going to say, don't let her listen. Don't let her listen.
We just lost a few listeners.
Speaking of pizza.
Yeah.
We just had a pizza party here at the office last Wednesday for none other than Jake's birthday.
Oh, Jake's birthday.
Our second to newest hire. And he's doing great. And we ordered from Virtuoso.
Oh yeah,
down there in Benson, and got a couple pies, and got
that place.
And we got some not French dips, drip beef.
Oh man,
yeah. Didn't we share a drip beef and a slice each?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
We did.
What's that one show? What's that dog show where they're the noodles and they come together, and it was like Tony and I.
Oh yeah, the 101 Dalmatians. Or Lady and the Tramp. No, Lady and the Tramp. You're right. Yeah, that was us sharing a meal. That place is great. I mean, all the food.
Good old VHS.
The old hot beef sandwich and the pizza there. Wow. Oh
yeah, they do a pretty darn good job. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy markets, Tony. While I was away over the last couple of weeks, and I was here and I wasn't here. Last week, I had a pet. When the last time Andrew was on, so not this Sunday, but this past Sunday and the week prior to that, I was out on a guy's trip.
Yeah.
And this guy's trip was it's an annual deal. You probably hear about it. It's our dirt bike trip. We have street legal dirt bikes. We have KTM 500 EXCs. I have 2 of those for some reason. I needed 2, not 1, but 2 in case a friend came. I didn't want to.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Ben out in Colorado, and so we all went out with the toy hauler and the dirt bikes and the side by side, and we camped out for 3 nights up there, just in Eagle, right around Eagle, Colorado, south of there. Into the mountains. So we had a great time.
Area. Wow.
A nice reset. Back in the saddle. I hear Andrew did a great job on the show for the last 2 weeks. He did, which is fantastic. It's exciting. Government shutdowns looming, right? So we have all that crazy. People are like, well, how does it affect the market?
Right.
The market typically doesn't respond to noise, current market noise. Sometimes it takes a little while to settle in, but I will tell you, the majority of the time, markets are positive following a government shutdown. So, for example, the S&P 500 spiked 36% during the year after the very last government shutdown, which ended in early 2019. We're not saying that's going to happen again.
That was a long one. That was brutal. Yeah.
Right. So 100 days following the 1982 shutdown, the index was up 19.7%. We've seen a lot more up than down. And, and people are like, why does that? Markets like chaos. And when things are only going in one direction and things look perfect, that's not necessarily the best thing for the market necessarily.
Right.
Because people can't really find, a real direction or what's going to happen. But when there's chaos, we know there's volatility. And the VIX, or volatility index, has spiked a little, right? So we've seen that up, but we've seen things kind of settle back down to where I don't want to say where we like them, and government shutdowns are never good. You don't want to unemploy people, but people do typically, the people that get furloughed get paid back, right? And, like my wife says, well, what happens if a lot of these people are paycheck to paycheck are really tight and they don't get that one paycheck or those two paychecks? Then what? And I said, yeah, that's an issue. And that's why it's so important to have reserves, and I know it's not possible for everybody. I get it. Things are tight. Inflation happened. You got kids and you got life and you got everything else in the mix, right? Everything's more expensive, from your health insurance costs to your food to, gasoline fluctuates like crazy. It's up and down nonstop. But the price of a car, or the price of labor to get your car fixed, a couple $100 an hour. I mean, everything is up. It's crazy. It is crazy. So I get it. And I'm not knocking the people that don't have that savings, but the best we can possibly do is really try to pay ourselves first. We pay ourselves and we really try to get money stuck aside for if you can get a 6-monther set aside, fantastic. If you can get a 3-monther, if you can get anything set aside. So if something does happen, whether you're a federal worker and it's a government shutdown and you're not a emergency employee, slipping my mind.
Essential employee.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And so I want you to make sure that you have something there that you can rely on, some emergency fund. And again, I get it. It's hard, but if we can try to pay ourselves first and do that, I think it's really going to be helpful to a lot of people. We talk about that in retirement as we're approaching retirement too. Bill, how much money should I have in my savings or my checking account? Well, it kind of depends first on you and your comfort level, but at least we want to keep, a nice little chunk. Now, when you're in retirement and if your money's invested in the market, a lot of times we also have a side account for you that's in money market or stable value that has a pretty good dollar behind it, making sure that if you do need something, you just call the office and we send it over to your bank account. That's simple enough, right? But I also want what you call run-to money. My dad always called it this. You might remember this, Tony, when we've had him on the show in the past. But run-to money is that money that you can just run down to the bank, run to BMO or to Core Bank or Cornhusker Bank or whatever your bank is, right? Run over there and withdraw money, take out cash. And they might say, what do you need it for? And you can say, none of your business.
Right.
Right. But have you heard that before? I've taken out larger sums of money to buy silly things like dirt bikes and tractors.
Yep.
And they're like, well, what do you need it for? I'm like, I'm going to go burn it in my backyard. I don't know. It's fine. But I get it, right? They're trying to prevent whatever goofy stuff from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that when you say pay yourself first, you hear that often. And I know you've said that on shows before. And for our listeners to really grasp what you're talking about, and especially for me, when I finally got that, we're not talking about like pay myself first. What does that mean? That means before money hits that checking account, which I call the general fund.
Right.
Because once it hits the general fund, poof, it's gone.
Sure.
It's gone. So before it hits the general fund, right out of your check, money goes directly into your 401k, directly into an IRA, or directly into a savings account that is for an emergency fund. So that's paying yourself first, right? And
you can split it multiple ways. Absolutely right.
Right. And some people think, I used to be like, okay, we're going to pay our necessary bills first.
Yep.
And we're going to do that first out of our checking account. And then whatever's left, then we put that in savings. That's the wrong way to do it, right? Because there never is anything left. That never happens, right?
If you can. And so we
Right.
want to get to the point where you're able to do that. So
Right.
whether it's driving your expenses down or your income up, whatever it's going to make do that. But you're exactly right. If we can go first, like you said, if I can have the employer split, and we do this here for employees, if we have it split between going into a savings account and then going to the general. And when Tony's talking about a general fund, he's talking about your operating fund. Is
Yeah.
what I'm kind of thinking of, right? You're paying your utilities, your mortgage payments, and
Yep. I'm just
just
talking
day
about
to
my
day.
checking account. Yeah.
Day to day. Exactly right. And so I want you to have that good cushion. I want you to have that good general operating fund, but I want you also to have that run to money where you can go to the bank and get that cash out.
Yes.
And again, it's the level of security that you feel with it too. You know it's there. You know it's over there at Wells Fargo down the street or wherever, and you can go there and withdraw that money. And then you have your other money that's invested. And as Andrew was talking about, I think last week or the week before, I listened to the show, and he said, then you have different buckets of money.
Right.
You have a longer term bucket of money, and that longer term bucket of money, we can probably put a little bit bigger engine behind it. Well, with bigger engines, costs sometimes you have to do a little maintenance down the road on it here and there, right? And it's a little bit more, but you get there. You can get there faster. Right, it's going to do a little bit more growth, but in the meantime, you might have a little shutdown, a little government shutdown on that S&P fund there if the market goes backwards. And remember, the market's been up 73% of the years and since over the last 100 years.
Yeah,
right. So that's a pretty good number. You take those odds.
It's been way up this year. I mean,
right, but I can't let you. I had a client in here the other day, and she was like, I'm to the point now that I really think I need to start driving down my risk. And she is in a balanced portfolio, more like a 50-50, 60-40. Wow. But she even feels that it's a little bit too much for her. Mm-hmm. So what can we do? We look at our buffered indexes. There's one with, I think UBS right now has a buffered index with a 13 or 14% upside, 100% principal protection on the downside, and it's 18 months is your commitment in it, and it tracks the S&P and the Dow.
Wow.
Yeah, so simple enough. So things like that where she can have good upside, annualized, nothing crazy, but I think she can annualize out at 8 if it hits, if it caps out. But the bottom line is 100% principal protection.
Yeah, downside protection. Yeah.
And if we can start lining up these and start really balancing the portfolio to those different buckets, so we have our run-to money, but we have our operating fund, our general fund. Right, that's the in and out.
Yep.
Right, and then we have our run-to money, the savings account or the money market at your local bank. Not going to do a whole lot of interest, but maybe you'll get a point or two off of it. I don't know. Right, but it's that run-to money, and whether your run-to money is 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000, or some people like a lot more than that. That's up to you. And then you move forward to the next set, which is your money that you're going to be using this year for distribution. So now you're like in retirement. Let's pretend. And we're saying, for this next year, I'm going to need $4,000 a month out of my retirement account. We're going to have buckets of money set aside for you that are going to operate more on that shorter term chassis. And then you have a medium term chassis, put a little bit bigger engine on it. And then we go into the market with that longer term. And we're all in the market with all of it, truthfully. Yeah. Right. But the market doesn't mean all risk. Markets can be money markets where they're FDIC insured. Markets can be pink sheet stocks, or junk bonds. So markets are all over the place. Markets can be a real estate market or a REIT or the straight up S&P 500 index, right?
Precious metals. Yeah.
And speaking of that, wow, gold hitting 4,000. I mean, holy smokes.
Yeah.
And that tells a story too. People fleeing to safety.
Yeah.
Is there that concern that we are sitting and hitting these highs and high after high after high? And we're like, well, geez, how much higher can it go? Well, seeing some of these people in Colorado, I'll tell you, Tony, holy smokes.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a different kind of a high. Colorado, yeah. You see a lot there in Colorado. Yeah.
I had to do a little knock a couple times on some heads. Hey, hello?
Are you in there? Are you
just
awake?
For a cheeseburger here. Just kidding. Like to throw a little humor in it.
Yeah. Well, I've been to Colorado. I was there a year ago or so, and I love Colorado. My family loves it, but sometimes the workers, the servers, you go in to eat or at a restaurant or a fast food place, and it's interesting.
Or anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the hit, like you said at the beginning of the show, though, history shows government shutdowns haven't really affected markets. In fact, they've been pretty positive in past government shutdowns. But the government shutdown, like you say, it does negatively affect some people. Like we feel for the federal workers
Sure.
who are furloughed or aren't going to see a paycheck during this time. That's rough. And so they're the ones hit hardest. But and then also I read yesterday, they shut down the Nashville Airport Air Traffic Control Center because not enough people came into work. Now
Same with
those are
Burbank.
those are essential employees,
Yep.
but they called in sick or to protest or to say, hey, stop the shutdown. They didn't come in. They didn't shut down traffic during the day because they can use another air traffic control center somewhere else to give pilots, they can use radar for that area from a different location. However, at night, it completely shut down the air traffic control system and the airport. So
yeah, and it's just pure politics. I mean,
it's just a game, and they're playing a game, and
it's a
it's with
power play.
people's
Right.
lives. I wish our Congress could get it together. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, right. And and at the end of the day, Tony, it's been happening forever.
It
And
has.
so this isn't anything new. Average shutdown, I believe, is 8 days.
Right.
And so, yeah, could it go longer? Yes. Is it in everybody's best interest, both parties, to make sure that they get something put together? Absolutely.
Yeah.
On each one. Will we see another one? Sure. In your lifetime? I don't know. I don't know what your lifetime looks like, but the majority of us on the show and listening today, yes, it will happen again in our lifetimes.
Yeah. There's been 22 of government shutdowns since the 70s or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but we want to make sure that people don't panic and we don't do anything silly with our money or our portfolio.
Yeah, don't get emotional and think you've got to, oh no, I got to move stuff around, the government shutting down. Do you want to review it or talk to a financial advisor about it? Yeah, but don't make any emotional decisions. That's for sure.
I talk with Justine on a regular basis here, and she's up front now. She replaced Billy after Billy retired, and I asked her how, just like I was talking when I would talk to Billy, how are calls, how are people when they come in, how is their tone? Are they upbeat? Are they sound a little like depressed, or markets are crazy? I think we've done a great job with conditioning our clients for things like this and for turmoil in the markets, whether it's a war or government shutdown, or if it's pure nastiness, like nasty terrorism crap or something, right? Or markets are high and they lose steam, whatever it might be. Or following a political, your party didn't get in, world's coming to an end. Well, it's not. I hate to say that. Okay, it's not coming to an end. So we're not going to make any drastic changes. We want you set up for you during your lifetime. Right. And whatever your lifetime might be, and if you're, your 60s and 70s or whatever, then we want to make sure that we're kind of paring down that risk depending on your portfolio. You have all the money in the world. Maybe we don't have to do that. Right. It's a different story, but the majority of people don't. And we have to make sure that your money lasts as long as you do. And bottom line is that you have an income plan, period. End of story.
Right.
And we teach you this at our events. So, we've already had 2 very successful events over at Farmer Brown's. We're going to be at Casio's next in about 2 weeks or so, a week and a half. Not this next Thursday, but the following Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday. It's on our website, bigomoney.com. You'll see a little seminar tab, or you can just scroll down a hair and see a register now button, and you can see our events. These are complimentary events. They're held at 6 p.m. Farmer Brown's and Casio's. We have 4 more coming up for the year, and that's it. Okay, if we have an overflow night, we'll have an overflow night, but we are really limiting capacity to about 30 on each event.
Yeah, and there's no charge, right? But you have to reserve ahead of time because there's limited seating.
And this is not a dog and pony show, not some big salesy event or anything like that. You're going to learn what's going on. How we feel about planning for your retirement, what you should be thinking of when you're planning your retirement.
It's educational.
All the different pieces, right?
It's educational.
And we'll have, our attorney in the room, CPA, Medicare people there. It's Medicare season, hot and heavy.
Andrew's not going to get up there and try to sell you a timeshare, is he?
Well, no, I mean, that's part of the deal. Yeah.
No.
You get Marriott rewards or
Yeah.
Grand Vacations or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
no,
one of those deals.
we won't do that to you. It's
Yeah.
miserable, pure
Yeah.
misery. Yeah.
Yeah. Those
I
are
don't know
bad.
who I feel more sorry for, the people actually selling them or the people sitting behind the people. Probably the person selling it, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
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 Because that's
At least the person can get up. I mean, you can get up. They don't really hold you hostage, but I mean, it's close. I mean, I do feel
that
like
would be a
people,
rough job.
yeah, I
'Cause
feel like
you're
people are
just,
blocking the doors.
yeah, that's tough.
So, so talking about markets and volatility, it's kind of interesting because, everybody has a different risk tolerance. So recently, my daughter, who just turned 18 years old in August, she's the one that goes to Tennessee. We set her up her Roth IRA. And, I do something kind of a little special for them on their first contribution, and might go further than that. I don't know yet. But they have to have earned income to contribute to a Roth.
Right.
And even if I contribute, if I match them, if my daughter puts in $7,000 is 2025's limit for Roth IRA contribution for those under 50 years old. So for her to contribute $7,000 to her Roth, she would have had to make $7,000 for the year.
Right.
Well, by golly, she's about there. I mean,
Wow.
inches. Right. So I could put her on payroll for a couple weeks and have her do some work for me and she'd hit it. So she's there. So I said, Michaela, and I did the same thing with Braden. You put in $3,500, I'll put in $3,500. I'll match you.
Wow.
To get them kind of thinking about it. And we talk about this and how important it is to talk to your kids and your grandkids about it. Get them started. Once they're started, they're started. That engine's running, baby. You put in something like a Roth and you can only take it out for emergency medical. You can only take it out for a down payment on a first house, higher education use. Otherwise, it's 59 and a half.
Yeah. And boy, if they put that money in there, let's say when they're 19 or 20, and it
Right.
grows until they're 65,
Oh my gosh.
when they retire, they'll have a nice chunk of money, especially if they regularly, like every month, put something in. Even if that month they can only put in $50. Some months, hey, they got some money, put in 1,000, or you got a Christmas gift from grandpa and grandma, put that money in that Roth,
Right. So she has what, 30, 39, 41 years until she's 59 and a half, right? Am I right about that math? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Call it. So what did we just say? 41 years?
Yeah.
I think so, right? So if we
but this is at the minimum, because a lot of people won't take it until they're 65, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, heck, let's even call it 68 years old. So she's 18, 68. Is that 40 years? Right. Something like that.
Let's say
50 years.
50.
So we got 10%. People are like, geez, it's calculators nowadays, folks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got $7,000. Average rate of return 10% on the S&P 500. I'm not saying you're going to get that. I'm just saying that S&P average roughly 10% since inception
over that time period.
Oh yeah. So let's just say it does that. She said it and forget it. That's what we did. We put in the S&P, by the way, to the 50th power. Okay.
Yeah.
$821,735.
Yep.
Your initial $7,000 without another contribution.
Without a dime.
To $1 million.
Yeah.
Think about if you made a little contribution each year.
Oh yeah, or every month. I mean, if you put in $50 a month, that would be you'd have millions when you retire.
So Michaela calls me the other day, a couple days ago. Dad, I lost $7. What are you doing? I laughed. I said,
did she check her balance? Oh,
I said, yeah, because I made her get the app, made her get the Schwab app.
Oh, that's awesome. So she checks the Charles Schwab app and sees that her Roth is down to $7.
I said, really, sweetie, it's $3.50 you lost. I lost $3.50 too. I split that with you.
Yeah. And it's going to grow in the next 50 years. It will grow over time.
Yeah, and it's just good conditioning because now she can see these ups and downs, especially getting in at a market high. We don't try to time the market, people. I do the same thing with myself and my own family. I'm not sitting there timing the market, waiting for the next crash because I don't know when.
You got a dollar cost average your way in.
So we just pile it in, and she's going to go up and she's going to go down, but she's going to condition now. So in 10 years from now, if the market takes a drop, she's going to be like, oh, I remember that when I was 18.
Yep.
So, welcome, folks. Again, thank you so much for listening. I really, truly appreciate it. Our next events, bigomoney.com. You can register for our events there. You can find us on the Facebook and the Twitter and the X and all the streaming channels to find our show, because we're streaming these bad boys now, so you can actually see our pretty faces.
That's awesome.
I apologize in advance, but again, thanks so much for listening. bigomoney.com. Call for your complimentary consultation, 402-943-6003.
All right. Thanks, Bill. And that does it for today's episode of the Big O Money Show with our host, Bill Altman.